expanding, so how it's expected to impact families far beyond their dinner plates. Well, good afternoon and welcome. I'm Keitha Nelson here with this special online edition of First Coast News at noon. President Donald Trump says he will not participate in next week's presidential debate if it is virtual. And organizers announced that debate would be virtual because of the president's diagnosis of COVID-19. Now, the Commission on Presidential Debates just made the announcement a week before President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden are scheduled to face off in Miami. But President Trump told Fox News that he is not going to do a virtual debate, calling it a waste of time. The Biden campaign is saying the former VP would participate in a virtual debate. Now, we will continue to follow the situation closely and bring you updates as they come in. Well, last night's vice presidential debate between Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris became heated at times. If you got a chance to check this out, both candidates making a lot of claims about the opposition's track record. But are those claims true? We set out to verify.
Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris took to the debate stage Wednesday for the first and only vice presidential debate of this election. We're fact-checking both Pence and Harris right now. Here's Kamala Harris.
Do you know this administration took the word science off the website and then took the phrase climate change off the website?
This claim is true but needs context. A study by the Environmental Data and Governance Initiative tracked government websites and found many agencies like the EPA removed and changed parts of their websites during the Trump admin. These changes included the removal and, quote, overhaul of climate change sections of sites, including the EPA, whitehouse.gov, Department of State, and the Department of Energy. Now, it's true that mentions of climate change were removed from those sites, but not all government websites have had the words removed. Climate.gov and cleannet.org are both government sites that have collections about climate change still on their websites right now.
What ended up happening is because of a so-called trade war with China, America lost 300,000 manufacturing jobs.
This claim is false. There was a report by Moody Analytics in 2019 that estimated 300,000 fewer jobs were created in the U.S. as a result of the trade war with China. But that's not the same as losing manufacturing jobs. Data from the Economic Policy Institute shows the U.S. has actually gained about 500,000 manufacturing jobs since 2016, though some of those gains have been lost due to COVID. Here's Mike Pence.
Senator Kamala Harris was one of only 10 members of the Senate to vote against the USMCA.
This claim is true. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or USMCA, replaced and updated the North American Free Trade Pact, or NAFTA. Senate records show that when the USMCA was up for vote in the U.S. Senate, Kamala Harris was one of 10 senators who voted against the bill.
When Joe Biden was vice president of the United States, not 7.5 million people contracted the swine flu. 60 million Americans contracted the swine flu.
This claim is true but needs context. In the year between 2009 and 2010, CDC data shows an estimated 40 to 90 million cases of swine flu with 12,469 deaths. In roughly 8 months so far this year, we have more than 7.5 million confirmed COVID cases and 211,000 deaths. Now, we have many more claims from both Pence and Harris up on our website. And if you see something you want us to take a look at, send us an email. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
Well, there's a new UNF poll that's looking closely at our local congressional race and other ballot questions. The Public Opinion Research Lab at the University of North Florida surveyed registered likely voters in Duval County about topics like the half-cent sales tax and the JEA referendum that many of you will be voting on pretty soon. Leah Shields this afternoon reveals the results.
This new poll focuses on several ballot items, including specifically the Congressional District 4 race for the U.S. House of Representatives, which is Democrat Donna Deegan versus Republican incumbent John Rutherford. And the results show 57% of those surveyed say they'll be voting for Rutherford.
That's a very difficult race for a Democrat to win. No matter who the Democrat is. John Kennedy would have trouble winning that district.
Also on the ballot this November, the 15-year half-cent sales tax to benefit Duval County schools and improve them to safety standards. Bender says 69% are in favor of it, and the support has not wavered since an earlier June poll. JEA appears on the ballot with a referendum to allow City Council the authority to appoint and remove 4 JEA board members. 76% surveyed say they will vote in favor of it.
JEA's had a brutal year, and former CEOs facing investigation, lots of people under federal investigation. We don't even know where that's going yet.
The poll also asked people, what is the biggest issue facing Jacksonville today? This peaceful backdrop and beautiful scenery is probably what many envision when they think of Jacksonville, but the city does have its fair share of crime, and 30% of those polled say crime is the biggest issue the city is facing right now. In downtown Jacksonville, Leah Shields, First Coast News, on your side.
Now, if you have an election question that you want to answer, the On Your Side team is here to help you out. Send your questions via text to 633-8808. That number is on your screen right now. You can find answers to other questions and all of our election-related stories at firstcoastnews.com/politics. Well, the former commander of Naval Base Guantanamo Bay headed into federal court today to learn his fate following his conviction on federal charges of lying and obstruction of justice. Captain John Nettleton was found guilty in January for his role in the 2015 disappearance and death of Christopher Turr, a civilian worker on base. Now, Turr was found floating in the waters of Guantanamo Bay following a fistfight, we're told, with Nettleton. Nettleton was not charged in Turr's death, but was convicted of lying to conceal both the bloody brawl and his extramarital affair with Turr's wife. Now, according to federal sentencing guidelines, Nettleton faces between 37 to 46 months in prison. 5 members of Turr's family have asked to present victim impact statements, as well as 5 supporters of Captain Nettleton. Court is expected to last throughout the day. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting in the Moncrief area. ShotSpotter notified officers right at about 1:30 this morning. When they responded to West 26th Street, they found a man who had been shot in the leg. At this time, there's no information about the shooter, but if you know anything, you're urged to please give Crime Stoppers a call. An arrest is made in connection to the shooting death of a man in the Sherwood area. JSO tracked Isaiah Corby to Albany, Georgia. Corby now faces charges of manslaughter and evidence tampering. Last Wednesday, crew found a man and a gun. They were shot wounds as well on Roanoke Boulevard. Now, he was pronounced dead at the hospital. The identity of that man has not yet been released.
All right, we got you covered on air and online.
Well, we're going to talk about this, Mike. European Union scientists say last month was the hottest September on record. Highest ever temperatures for the month are recorded throughout the world. Now, the European Union's Climate Change Service said that this has become a long-term warming trend caused by emissions of heat-trapping gases. It has been a steamy one, that's for sure, Mike.
Yeah, watching that temperature rise, not just over the land areas, but the water. And that's what we worry about, all these warm water temperatures we've been talking about throughout our hurricane season. And here we are, storm number 25. And our 5th hurricane likely to make U.S. landfall. So right in the Louisiana area, notice we've got a Category 2 at the update at 11 a.m. from the Hurricane Center, 105-mile-per-hour winds. And as you take a look, make sure you go to our First Coast News app. So here we are online, so we appreciate you streaming us here if you're eating your lunch with us. Basically, yes, does a good job where you can zoom in if you have friends and family along the Gulf Coast, because it does look like, yes, we've got landfall, the 5th U.S. landfall happening later tomorrow. And right now, Hurricane Center is saying maybe even a Category 2. So we'll keep an eye on that. But right now, the biggest concerns, if you have friends and relatives, would be Lake Charles to central Louisiana, right in this area here, Vermilion Bay to Lake Charles. Most concerned about that damaging wind and, of course, the storm surge, especially that storm surge. New Orleans, some better news. Yes, you'll have some very heavy rain, but fewer effects, and Pensacola, even better news. So just be careful. Check on your relatives. If they're told to evacuate, they got to get out of there, basically. Okay, so you take a look at that flooding rain, freshwater flooding, another big factor. But what you do make out on this map, look at all this. Yeah, here's our stripe of the damage and the flood, the worst of the flooding, but no, just a big swarm, big green blob on the map here. So tropical weather taking up much of the country. If there is good news, all right, with Delta, it's going to help put a big dent in the Northeast drought based on its tracks. I always try to find the positive. Here at home, the positive is we can get out for our lunch hour. 86 feels like temperature of 91, but keep an eye to the sky. We've got the heat. We've got the humidity. 91 is our heat index on the west side, and get used to it. This late summer pattern continues all the way into next week. So we're going to have some heat indices pushing triple digits. So when's it going to rain will be the question. And we know it's going to be more of a summer pattern, so it won't last all that long. We don't have to cancel plans this weekend. Today, most of the rain between 4 and 7 o'clock, Highway 301 west. All right. As we go into tomorrow, things will change a bit because we're going to see the sea breezes noticed today colliding inland, and then we're going to see a wind shift tomorrow more out of the south and southeast. That'll bring the collision zone even to the coast and the beaches, but that's not until tomorrow. For the weekend, looks like a rinse and repeat average and pattern. We're talking about the average time of the rain, probably early to mid-afternoon as we go into Saturday. And then on Sunday, some of that rain could start in the morning. So Sunday would be the wetter of the 2 days. Notice keeping those temperatures well above average. Buddy check 12-day Monday and some fall weather delight in there by Wednesday.
Looking good. Thanks for that, Mike. And here's some more good news. A groundbreaking today for the expansion of a farm that's striving to create better lives for its neighbors, and it took place this morning. You see, parts of the Moncrief area are considered food deserts where there are no healthy food options nearby. But as On Your Side's Renata Gregorio reports, things could soon be turning around.
Teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. Well, this is about teaching a community how to take care of themselves and move forward together in a historically underserved community.
There's not a grocery store within 1 mile, and then on top of that, they maybe don't have transportation. 10 minutes away, yeah, by car.
Right here at White Harvest Farms off Moncrief Road is where ground breaks Thursday for a farmers market, training center, and event space.
We want to encourage a local food economy.
But if you ask farm assistant Imani Bidal why this is needed,
Pretty one right here.
she starts from the beginning, big picture.
All right, so you go from a global scale.
Bidal sees the farm's expansion as the start of a historically black and low-income neighborhood taking back its identity.
I lived 3 blocks away from here. I feel that purpose. I feel that drive. And I want other people to feel it too and know that we can all participate together and make this a hub of that, where community members can come and we can have discussions about what's happening in the community and discussions about how we can regenerate our unity.
That starts with planting the seeds here. You can take classes right now, and the farmers market is on Saturdays. All you need to know on firstcoastnews.com. I'm Renata Gregorio, First Coast News, on your side.
And all new at noon right now, a farm share is holding a pop-up food pantry. It's at the Jesse Ball DuPont Center located on East Adams Streets. It runs until 3 this afternoon or until 350 families have been served. Now, this is a drive-through event only. We want to let you know that you can only drive through. But again, this farm share food pantry is happening until 3 this afternoon. Well, we know a change of plans for the Children's Christmas Party of Jacksonville is happening this year because of the pandemic. Rather than hosting its traditional in-person community Christmas party at the Prime Osborne Convention Center, the nonprofit organization will partner with several other nonprofit organizations to distribute toys to children in need. Now, this is the 22nd year for the Children's Christmas Party. Well, call it destiny, but the kismet could be yours. Jags owner Shad Khan is selling his yacht, and it could be yours for the mere price of $200 million. Mike, you have $200 million hanging around anywhere? No? Okay. It was built in 2014. The ship measures 300 feet long and can accommodate 16 guests in 8 staterooms. You would think it would be a little bit larger, right? Have more people on there. But you know what? I guess with the full service spa and helipad, they just ran out of space, perhaps. Well, you know, Mike says he has some things for sale in his garage as well. Might be a little bit less than $200 million. Folks, have a wonderful day. We'll see you right back here on First Coast News at 5.